We'll give you a few minutes to log in and join us. I'm with Peter Geiger, editor of the Lewiston-based Farmers Almanac, and today is the day.
The day is the day that is in stores. It's available. It's online. You can see what we're talking about online and pick up a copy if you're in Hannaford, Shaw's, Tractor Supply, any of those stores.
Peter always does his first stop right here at WCSH, WLVZ,
yes,
so glad to have you here.
Thank you.
At News Center this morning. We're going to talk a little bit about the expectation for the winter, and you can chime in if you'd like. Comment in below. We'll be here for about 5 or 7 minutes, and then we'll get to some of your questions too. So first off, Peter, tell us a little bit about what's in the almanac, and then we can get to what the expectation for the winter is.
The almanac is a compilation of really cute, interesting information. There's a whole section on fabulous firsts. For example, the first electric car was in 130 years ago. There was a gentleman who made coffins in England for the kings and queens, and he was 5'5" and 202 pounds, and he wanted to lose weight. So he finally came up with a diet which is very similar to today, where you don't eat sweets and you don't eat breads and things like that. Bottled water goes back to, I think it was 1622 in England. So, and the UFO, first sighting for UFOs was something like 1592, were the first one. So you think all these things are current. Right. And so that's interesting. A lot of things on how to do things for yourself, not have to buy chemicals. How do you make a de-icer? Natural resources. Or we even have a section on when is cold weather good for you. For example, if you have allergies, and if you're exercising, you actually burn more calories if it's colder. Right. Better for sleeping. Those kinds of things. There's pages on gardening. There's even a section which I really like on what's the best season to buy which fruits in which part of the country. So for our zone, it'll tell you each season what is the best thing to buy, what you really want to buy because it's the best for you that season.
So it's a lot more than weather, even though the almanac gets a lot of attention for weather. There's good astronomy information. When the full moons happen, their nicknames. Yeah, we have something about we hear more and more about supermoons, and so what is a supermoon? Yeah, what is a supermoon? So we have a story about explains what a supermoon is, and things like that. Yeah, and people really enjoy it, and then people enjoy going to our website because it's farmersalmanac.com, and you can go online and get all kinds of information, download electronic little pamphlets that we have, and contribute to us. We love hearing from people. We have about 1.5 million Facebook followers. Now I have to say, as a scientist myself, it was a little funny walking down holding this morning.
Absolutely. People must have been praising you.
Right, exactly. So I know a little bit about forecasting the weather and climatology, and seasonal forecasting is very difficult. You guys don't reveal what your formula is. Right. But maybe you can give us a little insight and then talk about what's coming up this winter, what the expectation is.
Broadly speaking, it's based upon sunspot activity, planet positions, the effect the moon has on the Earth, and a formula that was developed back in the 1800s. And there's only been 7 people doing the weather in 203 years. So whoever does it has done it, and actually it started in New Jersey and it expanded as the country expanded, and actually all over North America. So the person who does the weather has had to implement more geography, if you will. And I think we do a great job. I mean, people will tell me that we're 80% accurate. I had a weatherman in Philadelphia one time do his forecast the day before versus ours, and he was 78% accurate. We were 76% accurate, and that was over 3 months in Philadelphia.
Maybe that's a life hack to my job.
There you go.
I'd like to think that my education helps in that way, but who knows? All right, so Peter, let's talk about this winter.
Sure. Yeah, well, this winter, we're saying that 2/3 of the country is going to be cold. It's going to be a polar coaster winter, so there'll be ups and downs. You'll have some rain, snow mixtures. The west will be warm, but basically in Maine, we're seeing a lot of snow, above average snowfall, a cold winter. Starting, I think, more in January. I mean, there was a couple times we talk about snow, rain kind of things, but those are tough in November. And we're earmarking January 4th to the 7th and 12th to the 15th, and then really, really cold at the end of January and the first week of February. Those are the key spots.
Do you have a guess for when the first snowfall may be?
Well, we talk about something in the middle of November, but I think that one is it says rain and snow, so I'm not going to hinge that.
We actually had our first one in October last year.
Yes, but, we ended up getting a couple of storms, and last winter was rough because it just the rain, snow next year. It
started early and didn't end until, and we had all those mixes as we talked about.
And I also said it wouldn't end until almost June, and that's pretty much what happened. And this next year, we think it won't end until the end of April, maybe 1st of May.
So another lagging spring, a little bit, late start to spring.
That's what we're saying.
Question from Alex, what is the weather for next 4th of July? Can you tell that specifically? Planning a big event for that date and would love to know.
Of course I can.
There are little lines in here with dates.
Yes. Yep. So let me just go to July. I didn't have that one memorized. Okay, July 4th. Widely scattered showers, thunderstorms could hinder 4th of July activities.
So that sounds like just about every 4th of July forecast in New England,
right? Get a tent ready. Well, actually, I do this thing on Halloween where I have 2,500 kids come to my house, and this year we talk about it being really wet for Halloween, so I got to think about the tent.
Plan a tent.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see. Sarah asks, how much snow and cold? Do you predict the amount of snow?
No, because as you know, the average snowfall in Portland is about, let's say, 90.
About 66.
66, but up in Caribou it's 113.
Right.
So what we say is it's going to be above average for your area. So depending on what part of Maine you live, it'll vary.
Gotcha. Let's see. Any other questions, guys? People asking snowy Maine winter. A couple people say the same things every year. I will say this: we've had a lot of active winters lately, so maybe it seems that way.
Well, maybe it seems that way, but it isn't always that way. And I had one winter when we said that January would be known as Junerary, so and it ended up being 70 degrees in January, and so I got on I got on some show. Regis and Capulet.
Regis. Gotcha.
So do we say the same thing? Well, it's always going to be cold. It's always going to snow in Maine.
Right.
But the question is how much, and the question is when. So that's what the book tells you every day of the season.
And as we said, there's a lot more than just weather in this. Great astronomy tips, life tips. Different facts you'd never think of in folklore.
How to do de-icing de-icing naturally, and all of that I think helps people, and I think millennials in particular are a generation that wants to not pollute, not use chemicals. Wants to be able to do for themselves. And so I think that's what the beauty of the Farmers Almanac is. That's why we've been here 203 years and hopefully many more.
Well, Peter, we appreciate you making your first stop at News Center, Maine. The Farmers Almanac is out. If you want more information, there will be a post up on our website within about the next 45 minutes. I'll have that with the winter outlook. And we'll look forward to next year, too.
Okay.
Peter, thanks so much. Keep asking your questions, too. Have a great day, everyone.